ọmọ mi ayọ̀ mi mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run tó fi fún mi. You are a blessing, not a lesson. I can't wait for you to call me daddy. Inú mi dùn, ayọ̀ mi kún. I feel so lucky that I got you. Inú mi dùn, ayọ̀ mi kún. I feel so blessed that I got you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to our program on parenting. And in the last episode, we were discussing children going through difficult times. And I actually asked us to all sit and reflect and ask ourselves if we are giving our children the best environment, a conducive environment. Like I discussed last time, I said that anytime we have issues and our children go through a very tough childhood, it's very easy for them to come out the wrong way. It's easy for them to have problems into their adulthood. So it is a very important time. The childhood of any child is a time when now we are putting in all what we want to reap out later in the years. And it is important to understand that anytime we have any personalities who show signs of problems, people like serial killers, if you go back and look at their history, go and read where they are coming from, we always find these are people who went through a very rough childhood, maybe had some physical abuse, sexual abuse, some form of abuse, or something just was not right in their childhood. People who commit crimes, most of the time when we go and look at their lives, we find they are maybe from very dysfunctional homes that were never stable. They never got any kind of fatherly, motherly love that they needed. So it's very important that we always remember that whoever we are bringing up in our homes, when we make the environment conducive, we are sure going to reap the fruits of that conduciveness. And at the end of the day, it will benefit us as parents and benefit the community at large. So at the last time when I was ending the episode, I was talking about orphan children, children who have lost one parent, especially the father or even the mother, or have lost both the parents. These are children who will say are vulnerable. These are children who are easily able to go through abuse because they don't have the person who is supposed to be taking care of them. And these children, we all know that we have been told taking care of an orphan, anybody who takes care of an orphan, the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said this person will be with him in Jannah, like this. So when the Prophet says that, why does he put so much emphasis on it? It is because an orphan child is very easy to go through a lot of problems, and it is very easy for them to suffer. They may lack the kind of love they need, they may lack necessities, and at times all what they need could just be a hug and to feel loved. So as the community, anytime we are having children who are orphans, we need to find a way of helping them, mitigating their needs, and being there for them. And if we are family, we are relatives, can we always try and step in for these children? Be there for them, and remember that this can happen to anybody. And if it is not my children who have been orphaned, I never know, maybe tomorrow it will be my children. So can I play the role of a parent to the other child? Because we never know who it will be next time. And when we bring up these children very well, they end up being of a lot of good to the community and to the family. If we have children's homes, let us make sure that these homes are getting the necessities they need. We are checking these homes to ensure that our children are not going through any form of abuse or neglect. So the whole time we as the Muslim community have to remember that anytime these children are lacking, are going through a lot of suffering, it will impact into their adulthood, which will also impact onto us as the community. Like I said the last time, when children go through a lot of problems in their childhood, they're very likely to get into the world of crime, into the world of drug abuse. They are very likely to get radicalized. And all this is because they are trying to heal the pain that they have inside of them. So they will always use different avenues of self-medicating themselves to feel better about what they are going through. So it is us as parents who need to play our role right. Once we are doing the right thing, we will see our children becoming better, and we'll have a better society and a better community, and we will have actually given the banner of Islam to people who are ready to take it to the next level. Today, I actually want us again to look at our children. This being January, schools have opened. These children now have gone to the other class. If they were in class 4, they have gone to class 5. If they were in class 1, they have gone to class 2. And some of them have actually gone to high school. Some of them have gone to boarding schools. Some of them are actually now moving and becoming more mature, and we are noticing all this. Now, when we closed school, like we said last time, we were given report forms. What discussions did we have around these report forms? Did we make our children feel that they are failures, or did we give them hope? Did we try to understand why they did not perform well? And if they did not perform well, what was our role in their performance? What was the role of the school in their performance? And what was their own role in their performance? So it has to be an all-rounded thing. We have a role to play in it, the school and they themselves. So now they have gone to the next class. What have we told our children? Have we had a discussion about them going to the next class, them having grown 1 year and they are going to start study different things? Have we given them hopes? Do our children have dreams? Do we know what our children want to achieve? Have we ever sat and listened to them? How are we helping them to achieve these dreams? Alhamdulillah, some of them have performed very well and they have gone into high school. I have met some of these children who have gone into high school. I have interacted with them, and it saddens me when I interact with the children who seem to have no hope. Children who are telling you, my parent does not expect me to perform. My parent has told me that they do not think I will do very well, that the grade I got is not what they expected. They are wasting their fee, they are throwing away their money, and it's very, very sad. When you talk to the young people and you can feel a sense of hopelessness in them, it's very, very scary, because anytime somebody already has no hope, we start wondering, how do we expect them to perform? You ask a child who has just entered Form 1, what do you want to be? And they tell you, I don't know. Which university would you like to study in after you finish your O levels? They tell you, I don't know. So anytime I'm speaking to them, I usually start by asking them, what is your dream? What is your greatest dream? Then I tell them, can we start working towards your dream? And then this dream, for it to become a reality, we now have specific goals. So we talk about goals. I ask them I tell them the day you stepped into any high school, that day you should have given yourself the grade you want to live with. When you entered the gate, so before they came into this school, did you have a conversation with them? Did you talk about what we expect you to have gotten when you're getting to Form 4? Let them give themselves a grade so that they can work towards it. And when we are giving ourselves grades, they have to be realistic. So we tell them, okay, what would you like to be? I would like to be a doctor. So you'd like to be a doctor? Fine. What grade do you think will make you become a doctor? Then they can tell you maybe an A minus. Then you tell them, okay, so what do you want to get? And they'll tell you, maybe I want to get an A. You tell them, okay, so your dream is to be a doctor. You want to get this A grade. So how are you going to set goals from the word go to attain this grade? So we need to sit with our children and teach them how to set goals for themselves. And when we are setting goals, I always tell them we are going to set weekly goals, monthly goals, termly goals, until they are able to start looking at themselves, evaluating themselves. Am I achieving my goal or am not? We don't take children to a school and assume the school will meet all these needs. The school will do the teaching. We are supposed to come in and meet these children's expectations, help them achieve these goals. So as a parent, I need to work with my child. I need to be active in my child's life. Even if my child is in boarding school, anytime I hear there's a parent day, I need to ensure I am there on time and spend the day with my child. I have sat with children during counseling sessions, and the child or the girl now, they are adults, they tell you, I never saw my parent on any visiting day. So you start wondering, this parent who never attended a visiting day, where were they? And this girl would tell me, I would go to my room and I would just pray and cry and feel very sad. After I'm seeing other families coming in with foods and sitting with their children, talking, laughing. So anytime you as a parent are told there's a parent day in the school, you need to avail yourself. That is showing your child that you have hope in them and that you are helping them to achieve their dream. Anytime that you feel your child is sick, you've been called, go to the school. Do not say, my child is pretending to be sick to get time out. If your child is pretending, we need to find out, why are they pretending? What is happening? Are we helping our children? When you ask the children, when you go and talk to them who have just joined a boarding school, what's the thing you miss the most? They'll tell you, we miss our parents. So you as parents, when you are asked, what's the thing you miss the most, are you going to say you miss your children? Or is it good riddance? The house is now more quiet. We can now do our own stuff. We can do a lot of stuff. So as they are in these schools, we need to still parent them even as they are in the schools. We need to follow up on what they are doing in school, on their progress. Call the head teacher, find out, how is my child? Have they settled down? If there was a parent visiting, ensure you're there. Meet your child's needs. Whatever they needed, make sure that you have given it to them. And if not possible, explain why at that particular time it's not possible and when you expect to meet that need. Be very clear with what you're telling them and show a lot of love to them. So as we go for the break, let us work on that. Let us think about our children and the school. Do we attend the parent day? So pick your drink as we come back and assess how well we've been doing in that. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to this episode where we are discussing our children's school life. Now that schools have opened, children have gone to the next class and also gone to high school, and some even into boarding school. I know it's not very easy to have your child going to a boarding school for the first time. And as a parent, it is also very difficult trying to negotiate with all what is happening through us, missing our children and everything. Like we were talking, now that they have gone to high school, we need to have at least had a discussion with them about their dreams, what are their aspirations, what grade do they want to achieve when they are leaving school, so that we start working at a grade and goals that we can set and work towards. And also looking at this child as a wholesome person, meeting their emotional and their spiritual needs. I know we have problems that in some schools we have issues of hijab, we have issues maybe where our children are not allowed to practice their religion as well as they would like to do. So we as parents, we need to look at all that when we are taking our children to school. Let us not lose our children in the process of giving them an education where we forget about their spirituality, because they will only be complete with their spirituality incomplete. So we don't want our children being apologetic Muslims, children who have to explain, I'm sorry I'm wearing this scarf, it's because, no. We want children who are confident with what they portray as Muslims. So even the schools that we are taking our children, let us assess and see if the children are comfortable in that school. Are they being looked down upon? Are they made to feel inadequate? Are they made to feel like covering the head is something that is not attractive? And always remind them that we are only covering our hair, we are not covering our brains. And having a scarf does not mean that we are not intelligent, or does not mean that somebody is not intelligent enough. And being in a school where your child is not allowed to do their salah will always impact on your children later on in life. you'll notice they will always have a problem with doing their prayers. So it's very important that we look at all that. Let's not just look at the school and just the grade and the dunya. We are working so much on the dunya, we forget. And one thing I always tell every parent, religion will come a long way when we are trying to work with these two children during the adolescent stage. Because once we have put in the right religion into them, they know what is expected of them. It will be easy now to come and remind them, this is what Islam says. You're not supposed to be doing this. As a Muslim, you're supposed to pray. So if this child has been in a school where they have not been praying, I don't know how we expect them to come back home and do 5 salats in the mosque, yet they have not been praying in the schools they have been in. So are you taking your child to a school just because you want them to attain an A grade but lose themselves in their process? Remember, we said when they get to adolescent stage, they have an identity crisis. They want to know who they are. They are trying to get an identity that fits who they are. They're trying to define themselves. If they went to a school where they were made to feel lesser of a human because they are Muslims, or they could not practice their faith, now how do you expect them to have a Muslim identity and feel proud of being a Muslim? So we need to be very careful. I know we have all these stories where we keep saying maybe Muslim schools are expensive and we cannot afford, so we are taking them to a school like this. But can we come in as parents, go to the school administration and say, we have brought Muslim children, we expect them to pray 5 times a day, we expect them to cover their heads, we expect them to do this, and lay it out there as parents that these are our expectations as we are bringing these children to this school. If we all come in as a team and we are speaking from the same voice, that school will know they have to deal with us. But when we take our children and we just take off, we don't care if they're doing their prayers, we don't care if they're reading the Quran, we don't care what kind of life they're leading there, so long as they're going to give us the grade. So the spirituality is very important. Those who are able to take their children to Muslim schools, alhamdulillah, at least that is taken care of. But that does not say that is now me as a parent, I can step back. There is no time me as a parent, I'm supposed to step back. The whole time I need to be actively involved. Actively involved by even going to the school. I might not even see my child, but I could go to the school, book an appointment, say I would like to speak to the class teacher of my child, which is the day available that I can come and talk to that teacher. There is no teacher who will ever tell you they will not give you even 5 minutes of their time. So it is upon us to take that interest. And if a teacher speaks to you as a parent about their child, when they go to, about your child, when they go to class, they will notice your child. And I can guarantee you that when a teacher is noticing your child, they are paying attention to your child, and your child is more likely to even be given more attention in that class. So please do not stay back. Do not say, nimempeleka shule, I've paid my fees, so now everything is taken care of. No. Let us always remember that we still have a role to play. The other thing is, do not give your child things they don't need to go with to school. Some people want to give too much money. We are feeling because we are sending them to a boarding school, we are not there in their lives, so we need to make up for it. Or they're in day school, they are at home, but because we are never in the house, we make it up by giving them a lot of things. We make it up by giving them a lot of pocket money, allowing them to use the phone without any form of overseeing. They can use it anyhow they want. We allow them certain things because we are feeling guilty, because you're not giving them enough of our time. Let us be very, very careful about such things. If you're feeling guilty, work on that guilt. See what is the best you can do about it, and then come out without having to give stuff just to cover up for that guilt. Sit and even share it with your spouse. Why are we feeling guilty? Are we not giving them enough time? Do we need to give them these things for us to feel better? No. So we look at ourselves and work on that. And the most important thing is to be real to yourself. Be truthful to yourself. Nobody is going to tell you the truth. It's only you who is going to look at yourself. Ask yourself, am I playing the right role? Am I being a parent to my child? Am I giving what I'm supposed to give? And the most important thing a child needs from you is your attention, your presence, your love. So if that is there, the rest we just keep on filling in. So that's one of the most important things that we need to put across to our children. The teachers that are in school, the minute the parent has brought the child to your school, you're now the person playing the role of the teacher, playing the role of the parent. They are looking at you now as the adult in that community of that school. You're now the adult who was in the home. You are the person they are looking at. So you as a teacher, it's very important that you are a role model. Carry yourself around like a role model. These children are looking at every behavior that you as a teacher you're going to portray. So as a teacher, you are a parent in that school. The children are looking at you. How are you engaging with these children? Are you aware of their emotions? Do you know what they are going through? Are you able to help them negotiate any issues they are going through? Are you a good listener? Do you sit and listen to these children? Do you understand any child who is going through any form of difficulty so that you're able to say, this child needs help, can we get somebody to help this child? So as teachers, we are also parents. We need to be very aware of these children's needs, and always remember it's not only physical needs that are important. It's very important to know that the emotional needs are quite as important. And we always say that some wounds are not visible. So these wounds that are not visible, they are the most difficult wounds to treat. If a child has a wound in their heart, we cannot see that wound. And that is the wound that is not visible, that is very easy to get out of hand. So as teachers, we need to look at these children, look at their emotions, try and understand them. When they do anything like a bad behavior, let us rush to ask ourselves, where is this coming from? Why is this child showing this kind of behavior? Does this behavior have a history? What is happening in their life? So the whole time, anytime there's bad behavior, let us assess it. So long as we do not find anything that can be leading the behavior, now we deal with the behavior. When we can see their underlying issues into the behavior, we now work at those underlying issues as we try and regulate this behavior. So it is very important that as teachers, we don't just rush into punishment. We look at what are the underlying issues of this behavior. So as we put in punishment, we are also dealing with the underlying issues of that behavior. If we need the parents to come in, we are not having this accusatory kind of way of acting on these issues. We are bringing in the parent on board so that we see how best can we negotiate with these issues that we are seeing, how best can we as the teachers and the parent help this child with the behaviors that we are seeing that do not look like they are very conducive. When as a parent you start having concern on your child's behavior, what should you do? There's behavior that you're not liking. They've just opened school. You're seeing things that you're not happy about. The first thing is you go to the school, be very open and say, I'm seeing a certain kind of behavior. Have you people also noted this behavior in school? Do not say this behavior is from school. Look at this behavior. Is it also noted at school? Why is this child exhibiting this behavior? Is this behavior affecting their concentration in class? Are they performing at their optimal level? Is this child okay with the academics? Are they performing at the level that they are expected to be performing at? If not, then we need to ask what is happening, what is not right, how can we make the environment conducive for this child to perform at their optimal level. So today, that is where we are going to get to the end of this episode. I want us, as we are sitting back, to ask ourselves, are we really playing the role where we want these children to achieve their goals, to achieve their dreams? Do we even know those dreams? And then we work towards helping these children achieve these dreams. So this is Riziki from Hidayah. And until next episode, please have yourselves a good time. And please be nice parents and let us practice the parenting.
Ọmọ mi, ayọ̀ mi, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run tó fi fún mi. You are a blessing, not a lesson. I can't wait for you to call me daddy. Inú mi dùn, ayọ̀ mi kún. I feel so lucky that I got you. Inú mi dùn, ayọ̀ mi kún.